Okay, part two, same thing. I was talking about my daughter. I don't know why. It's like it'll let me, when I use this little recorder thing, it'll let me record for 5 minutes and then it turns off. So, okay, that's fine. Part two. So anyway, my daughter zip, my oldest daughter would zip in, and so if people are like that, then that's fine. For me, and what my gift is, my gift is funny because my personality is like that in some ways. You know, as far as my gift, when I'm talking to you about the messages that you need to receive, I have no idea about those. It's like the spirit is right there, and I'm in that space with you in the spirit. And then once that's done, that's done. So another one of my friends, she's like, if you want, you better record whatever Storm tells you, because if you ask her later, she's gonna be like, what? Like she didn't even say it. And that's the beautiful thing that I like about my gift. That is, that part of it separate from me. However, the other part, I can see some similarities, and it's like, whatever you need, that's what you can get from me. And I'm not interested in people sitting at my feet and just being around. I want you to get your gift and what it is. I mean, the other day, one of my family members was asking something about their gift, and I'm like, I don't get it. It's like I'm hesitant to tell anybody, what, because it happened for me. I mean, one of my friends was like, when I was having the Reiki experiences and stuff, and it was actually some Kundalini stuff going on, and she's like, you better go on YouTube and Google that stuff and see, what it is, and you can find other people. And so I went on there. She never told me a video to go to, and I really appreciate her for that. She just was like, go here and, this video, go Google the word Kundalini. And from there, it took me everywhere. And then my Reiki sister, who I crossed over with from Reiki 1, she led me to Seven Bomar. And then from there, I found Offset on my own. And Seven Bomar led me to Beyond the Veil and Martin Kinney. And it just so happens that all three of them were connected. Offset, Martin Kinney, and Seven Bomar just did a video together maybe a few weeks ago. And then Offset and Seven Bomar and Beyond the Veil did a video months ago. Those are really good ones. And so it's like, once you get on there, your spirit is going to find and lead you to the videos and the people who can help you. And it was like putting together a puzzle piece. I took a snippet from here, a snippet from there. One person had a piece of kind of like the experience that I was having. Another person had kind of like another experience that I was having. And then with those, and me every week going to Thursday night Reiki with Mama and Baba, who you saw on their video. If you go back through my videos, you can pick those up and see that. And so anyway, back to the OA. And so the OA, she had a near-death experience, and that was the basis for everything. And then another one that came up was Sense 8. So tribe, here's what I'm saying, is you all who are at that, you're kind of like, it's like when you're having the baby and the doctor puts his hand in and the cervix, he can kind of feel, and you have to be 10 centimeters. Some of you all are, you're gone in, and your cervix is, the spirit is ready to come out, and you're almost ready to open up. Your cervix is spongy, so they can tell that it's almost ready to start opening up. And so you're not at 10, but it's like you're ready. You're having no labor pain, So I'm a spiritual doula, so you're having those labor pains. I can feel them, and so we got to kind of combine the real world with what you're experiencing that way. And like I told you all, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a doctor. If you're experiencing things that have you questioning your life and things like that, please get off this live, go call 911 and go get some help. Remember, you can still have mental illness and still be spiritual. We just want to make sure that you're alive first so you can have this wonderful experience. So get to the doctor first, get your diagnosis, get on your medication, work with your therapist, and let your therapist see these videos So when you're having your dreams and different things are happening, you're with your therapist and you're talking to your therapist about it, because if it's right for you, it doesn't need to be hidden. If your therapist or someone thinks that you shouldn't be watching them right now, go by what they say. Do your therapy, do your work, and then do the spiritual, because you can never leave or lose yourself. All this spiritual stuff is just you coming in contact with yourself. And if part of your journey is the mental illness part where you need a diagnosis and need the medicine, then go ahead and get that. There's no shame in it. In fact, the most spiritual people have something mental going on, because it's like trying to handle this world and that with your spiritual gifts is confusing when you first come out. So fine, learn everything about your mental diagnosis, get on the medication to stabilize yourself, start looking up, work with a naturopathic doctor also, so that you can start learning what foods to eat and different things like that, because some things are agitating you, or you're doing without some minerals and different things like that, and you just need to add those to your diet. And then once you're in a more stable place, make sure you have an accountability partner, so that while you're going through your spiritual experiences, and make sure that you're under a good person who's local to you also. It's fine to listen to these videos. However, your spirit, you need to have someone local. I have Mama and Baba, Sheikh Sufi, Ra in DC. I have people around me, so I'm not just doing this stuff by myself. And it's helpful in the beginning when you're going through all these changes to have people surrounding you and helping you, so that you will know how to get through the birthing process, and then get from the little wobbly deer thing. You know, when the deers are born, they're just plop, dropped out, and they try to stand up and they're wobbly, to get through that phase until that you can get through and handle those things on your own. So we just want to be responsible. Okay, so from there, what we're going to do is get to my near-death experiences. Okay, so what I had to do, I had to write them down, because it was just like, I know I've had some. How many have I had? So I may remember one or two more. However, there are 5 of them. So the first time I had a near-death experience, and this is a funny one, because the first time I had a near-death experience, I was playing basketball. I was really good at basketball. I was playing basketball, and I went up with my legs up for a layup. A girl came and undercut me, and then I came crashing to the ground, and I hit my head. And that's the last thing I remember, is that she undercut me, and I was like, what the heck, in my mind, and then I was gone. And so from what I know from what other people told me is that they, I hit my head or whatever, and I was knocked out. And so I just remember them trying to get me awake, and I go back out, and I'm not hurt. Like, I'm not hurt. I'm just, for some reason, scared, because everybody's like, oh my goodness, what, and I had to go back and shoot my free throws. And so I was just afraid from picking up on the energy of everyone else. So anyway, I shot my free throws, missed both of them, and then they took me out the game or whatever. And so later on, I had to go to the hospital because I started hearing ringing in my ears or whatever, and I actually had a severe concussion. So much later, and I don't know the dates on this one, when I thought about that near-death experience, maybe within the last couple of years, for some reason, I see myself in the bleachers, and I see myself crumpled on the floor, because the women's locker room was right there, so crumpled on the floor next to the women's locker room. And so say I'm the person in the bleachers looking down at myself in the crumple up near the locker room, and I'm here looking at myself in the bleachers, looking at myself. So, and I'm the one me that's here is like, it's weird to be observing myself in 3 different places. 1, 2, 3, 4, because the physical me was on the floor. So that was the first near-death experience. Now in that one, I don't remember anything happening. I remember later understanding that I shifted. That storm died, and the other storm, which I don't know which one, because the one here was watching the one here that was watching the one there, and it was no obvious notice of the one, was that one getting up to come here. When that one got up, that one was no longer that storm. So that storm was gone. So that was information that came to me much later. That was like maybe within the last couple of years that information came to me about that. So that's all I know about that. So that's number one. Number two, my brother and I, some kind of way, we were in, this is Jacksonville, Florida, and we were in the church really heavy, and then we heard about Prophet Stan. He's still in Jacksonville, Florida. You can look him up. And I don't know anything about him now. Back in the 90s, he was fantastic. He was awesome. So if there's something going on with him, because I don't know, check on Larry Reed Live, because he knows all about these ministers. But my endorsement of him was in the early 90s, and my brother and I, we used to go there in lunchtime service. We were over there all the time. And so anyway, on this particular evening service, I remember the first time I saw a miracle there. And it was this man, and my brother and I used to be up there working the altar like crazy, just boom, the Spirit would call us, and we would go up there and work. We didn't belong to the man's church or nothing. The Spirit just moved. And so I remember my first miracle, seeing this guy walk, and it was amazing, and I was overcome with the Spirit. So anyway, that was a side note. And so on this time, we went up to the altar, and my brother and I went up to the altar, and I remember walking up there with my brother, and then I was laid out. And so while I was laid out, the minister was here, my brother was here, and my head was here laid this way. So my head is here, laid this way. Minister was here, minister was here. And I was here, looking down at all that. And so I remember the minister asking my brother, was I mentally ill? And that went like that. And I went back into my body. I went back into my body on my own. I wasn't supposed to go in like that, which I understand now. And remember, I didn't understand any of this when this stuff was happening. We're talking about in the 90s and the 2000s and stuff like that. I had no understanding. Like now, the level of understanding that I've gotten from being here in Atlanta for the past 4 years, I can look back on some events and tell them a certain way. However, at the time, no understanding, none, zippo. So anyway, I understand now. I went back in my body. When I went back in my body, I couldn't move. It's just like when you have that paralyzing dream sometimes, and you go to sleep and your brain shuts off to keep you from hurting yourself and sleepwalking. However, you're not all the way asleep, and so you're paralyzed. You can't move. And so when I went back in my body, I was trying to shake my head, no, that I'm not mentally ill. That this is a spiritual experience that's happening to me. And I couldn't shake my head. I couldn't open my eyes. I couldn't do anything. And so from there, of course, I got up off the floor and left out of there. I just don't remember anything that happened after that. So that was number two. For number one and number two, I don't at this time remember any kind of special messages that I had. So yeah, no. You guys remember to tell me to tell you one about my mother. What I saw with her, which is why part of it, the whole of it, why I'm so intense about this spiritual life and really know it for myself, because of my mom's just a badass. You know what I'm saying? It's like spiritually and stuff like that, she's just a badass. I know you're not supposed to use those things together, but she is. It's like when you see her, she's like, and then she gets that microphone, whoa, whoop, whoop, whoop. She can turn the whole church upside down. I'm telling her, I would put her up against T.D. Jakes or any of the big people now. They had even Juanita Bynum. Yeah, her too. They might be neck and neck. Oh, Juanita Bynum. I don't know nothing about her from the 20-some years. I'm not a Christian anymore. I don't even follow that life. I'm talking about back when Juanita Bynum did No More Sheets. So if you put my mom up there of hers and that, like my mom was the front runner, one of the front runners to all these type of women like that. I'm sure, you know, but anyway, okay, I digress. Anyway, so I didn't have any messages from those. So that's number 2. Number 3. Oh, okay. So I was with my family in Waycross, Georgia, and we were watching some kind of TV show or whatever, and I was eating. And back then I used to eat. I was 170 some pounds. My ex-husband would tell me that I'm like, I eat like a football player, and that's true. That's true. I use food to comfort myself, so yeah, that's true. So, so anyway, I laughed at something, and I was laughing, you know, just all animated, you know, and I'm jumped up laughing, and then I start leaving out the room, and all these events happen like in a blink of an eye. It's just like you're watching yourself in motion at the same time and realizing it at the same time, because you're just like, I was laughing and choking and running out the room. And it's like at the moment I realized I was choking, why didn't I turn around and go back in the room and go to my family and do the universal sign? Don't know. So it happened so fast. And so, you know, those shotgun houses. So that's one of the houses we have. And so I ran from out of the living room area, family room area, towards the door, which is the same way in our house now. And I got to the door. That's when I realized, oh no, I cannot breathe. I'm gonna die. I couldn't get back to my family or nothing because I was facing the door. And I blacked out, and I remember I felt my knee because I twisted my knee in an odd way. And I was on the floor immediately, and from there, I was in a gymnasium. And I'm a track person, basketball person. I'm not the cute cheerleader. I always say I'm 5'8", 5'7.5". They just recently measured me for my life insurance policy and said I'm 5'7". However, I did find I have a curve of my spine, so that was my 5'10". I could have been 5'10" and playing basketball. Anyway, so I was in the gym, and I was looking from the bleachers on this side over at myself, but I was in the bleachers looking at myself. And so it's like zooming in on the camera, and I'm down there on the floor, and I'm a cheerleader, and I'm getting ready to, you know, go perform, you know, I'm all linen and stuff like that. And, you know, and everybody's there and stuff, and I'm ready to perform. Now I'm watching from the bleachers, like I'm watching from here, looking in and watching myself there. Again, I watch myself a lot. So anyway, just when I was getting ready to start cheering, a huge voice said, "Storm, Storm, you cannot be here. Storm, you cannot be here." And whoop, I was back on the floor at the house. My knee hurt, and I got up, you know, kind of dazed, and I walked into back with my family, and I said, I was just choking. I just died in the hallway. And they're like, "No, you didn't. You're lying. No, you didn't." I did. I just died in the hallway in front of my whole family. They didn't know it. 3. And so I guess no message from there either. That was number 3. All right, moving on to I did that one. Let me put a check mark. You should not be check marking all the time. You near definitely died. Ooh, if I went more spiritual, I'd be like, what the heck? That's 2, 1, 2. That was 3. Yep. Okay, so the third time, I think it's another one in here because this back thing is really, I hurt my back in the military. And, you know, as you get older, you know, when you're young, those injuries are like, ooh. And then as you get older, it's like, wait a minute, you really hurt yourself when you fell off that plane. A4, so I'm telling my age. A4, was in the Navy, fell off of A4 while I was cleaning the canopy. And so at the time, you know, women in the military, they weren't paying us any attention. You had to be tough like the guys and stuff like that. And so I, I was knocked unconscious then. And of course, and no one took me to the hospital or nothing like that. It's like, get up, that rough boy stuff. And I'm a tall boy anyway, so I just got up and went on my way. I had surgery on my back later on, and all that stuff compromised my back. So this one time in DC, my back just got really bad, and the pain was just like unbearable. I mean, it was like pain I never experienced before. And by then, of course, I've had 3 kids plus my tubes tied, so I've been in pain before or whatever. Plus, I had surgery on my back before, so it's not like no baby pain. Look at me rocking, remembering. Oh my God. Okay. And so anyway, my then boyfriend at the time, and I think my sister was there. Yeah, my sister came over, my boyfriend came over, and they eventually called the ambulance on me. And I remember I just was like pain, and I just left. I mean, my body just left itself and just, boop, I'm out of here with this pain. And so the next thought I had was I was in the ambulance, and I know I was in the ambulance because I came back and I was in the ambulance. And so anyway, I can see myself outside the ambulance looking at myself, knowing I'm in the ambulance, but not like seeing myself go in the ambulance. It's just like I'm standing at the corner and I know I'm in there. And so for me, I was gone. I had my white hoodie on. I still have that white hoodie with my blue sweatpants on, wide leg sweatpants that I wore all the time, baggy. And I'm walking down this road, and I'm just as happy as can be. I'm just bopping down the road, just going about my business. I don't see anyone on the left or right. I just know I'm on the road and I'm headed this way, and I'm good. I'm fine. I'm good. And then all of a sudden, something like a screeching on the chalkboard starts reaching at me. Screech. And what I know now, it was my then boyfriend, James, business partner, got boot camp. Boop, boop. And he was like, Jamelia needs you. Jamelia needs you. Come back. Jamelia needs you. I don't know. Well, I do know how he knew I was gone. He was spiritual way back then. He was going through some transition stuff too, but I'll let him tell his own story. One Step Beyond Fitness is his website if you want to go see it. So anyway, the moment I looked over my shoulder, I was back in my body. Yeah. So, yeah. He was calling me, boy. Jamelia needs you. Jamelia needs you. I'm like, who the hell is screaming? Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm bopping. No pain, no nothing. I was on my way somewhere, and I was clothed and dressed, and I had no idea that I wasn't supposed to be there. Like with the cheerleading one, someone told me I wasn't supposed to be there. I was there fine in that place where I was. I just got a thought. I'm gonna save that one. But mark this moment, 23 minutes and 50 seconds. If what just went to my mind happens, then I'll come back and tell you what I was thinking. Interesting. Okay, I got you. Okay, I'm gonna finish. I see why I'm doing this now. I'm gonna finish. So anyway, I was fine where I was. I was fine. I had no idea that being there was something bothering someone over here in the ambulance. And like I said, when I looked over my shoulder, I'm wanting to say, is this shoulder? Yeah, because I was walking this way and this shoulder. It screeched me back. Screeched me back. All right, that is 1, 2, 3. It's number 4. Go ahead, girl. You got 4 near-death experience. All right, this 5th. How do I sound? I know this is my life and this stuff happened to me. How do I sound saying I've had 5 near-death experiences? I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense now with what everything's happening and how, I came online like months ago, and how, Spirit was like, okay, it's time for you to transition from corporate and be here. And then how Spirit systematically set things up so that I would have my house set up. I have a private Reiki room. I have a meditation room. So I have the blue room. So with this blue couch, is a matching blue couch on the other side with white fluffy carpet, which I love. So we're all ready. I'm saying I'm ready. I'm ready for everyone to come. We'll be meeting here when it's time, and until then we'll be doing Zoom and stuff. So this 4 weeks is just getting everybody ready. That's all it's doing. It's giving you the time to be with yourself. Now I'm telling you, you need to get into your closet, put these on, and get in your closet, get in your space. I don't care. Get in the bathroom, turn the water on, pretend like you're in there so no one will bother you. Whatever you have to do, because you're ready. You're about to give birth, and anytime any animal or anything like that in the wild is ready to give birth, where do they go? They go burrow in someplace. They go start that process. I don't care if some of you all are going to be going in your closet and pushing the stuff forward in your closet, and you've made little tunnels to go to the back, and you're going to sit in the back of there, and that's going to be your place where you can isolate yourself and go ahead and give birth to yourself. Some of you all have the garage that you can go to. I see some of you all going up into the attic, where you all have the attic separated, where you can go up into the attic. You want to go someplace where no one's going to be looking for you for a minute, so you can go ahead and give birth. Some of you all are going to be outside. Some of you all who have it like that, you're out at the end of your pier in the boathouse, and you're going to go ahead and give birth out there. Some of you all have like the tent set up. Some of you all have the RV camper set up, and you can go in there and spend time in there. So some of you all are going to be doing this in groups. Your groups of girlfriends are ready to be birthed at the same time, and you all are going to start meeting together. And 3, 4, 5 of you all, 4, meeting together and, having these sessions with each other, and just whatever comes up so that you all could give birth. Let me see, do I see anyone else? Yeah, I see some people who are actually homeless, and they're in their cars. And some of you all that are homeless, it's hard to be homeless. However, if that wasn't this, then you wouldn't be this here now. So don't even worry about that homeless part. You're gonna come online with that stuff. You're gonna be okay. Go ahead and go into your thing. So do I see anyone else? Let me see. It's just you all's fault, tribe. Maybe about 2 years ago, I was told I was gonna be doing this tribe gather. Yeah. Let me see. Right now, other than the normal stuff, I don't know why specifically is for that. Okay, for you all, please go to Queen Tribe. Please go to Queen of Cup, CUP. Light skinned chick, glasses, whatever. She just put out her March tarot reading. Please go there, get your tarot reading. Write down the notes and things that you know from it, because we're going to need to use that. Let's see, anything else? Those of you who are led to start eating differently, please do. This is just about whatever you eat. You know what's bothering you, what's not. The stuff that you're eating that's bothering you is like hampering you spiritually. It's like grounding you, like the root chakra thing. So yeah, go ahead and start switching. It's not no big deal if you can't, just if you feel like you can. For me, I've been grounding myself a whole lot by not eating the right things, and Spirit spoke to me and told me, she's like, okay, this is happening. You keep grounding yourself. You ground yourself before you do these videos, and then you don't do the video, and then you wind up hyper, and you're around other people, and you're hyper. It's like ADHD, you're hyper and all that and whatever you got, and then you can hardly control yourself. And it's like, because you keep grounding yourself, when it's time for you to do these videos for your message, you go eat your snack food. Stop doing that. Eat your snack food after. So That's why I'm only on my second video. I mean, I've been supposed to do these videos like a week ago or so. I kept on going and getting something to eat until, you know, Spirit, Gigi spoke to me and was like, dude, what are you doing? Stop doing that. So I realized that when you look at what's happening with your body, and they talk about the worms in your body, the whatever, all those words and stuff, I don't know how to pronounce them correctly, but those worms that are in your body, they're agitating you. They're in your brain too. They're agitating your stomach, and they're saying that you want something to eat. They're agitating, and they're like, go eat, go grab something. You're not even hungry. They just want that sugar. They want it. That worm is controlling you. So I'm like, you know what, right now, stop. I'm going to get my CBD oil. I got my probiotics, and I'm waiting for my my detox to come, my little detox tablets. If you all want to know about the detox tablets, just ask me about it. I can't remember the name of it. I just ordered, but this is like my third package, and it's real. And I gotta get ready to go because it's getting ready to clock out. It clocks out at 33, so this is gonna be a 3-part series because this is getting ready to clock out in about 2 minutes. So I'll do the other one, but. DM me, go to Nsidefirst on my Instagram and just DM me and just ask, hey Storm, what are those detox tablets? They work really good. They're powerful. They're strong. I can't take the full dose. I'll do 1, 2, and 1 because you do a couple that day. You're supposed to do 3 and 2. You will use the bathroom all over yourself if you do that. So there's another really good detox that gets the mucus out, but that's something that comes later. We'll talk about that later once we all get in. Also look for your blood type, how you should eat by your blood type. And remember, this is only for people who are feeling that coming. It would naturally come to you. Don't listen to me first and then go do it. Anything I say should just be a confirmation. I'm a confirmation person. I'm not a give light person. So if you don't have that information coming from yourself first, then don't do it. The goal is for you to understand where you are, who you are, what your inside messages are, and then from a trusted place, the confirmation comes. Okay, so we're getting ready to do the 5th near-death experience. It's getting ready to cut off at 33, so I'm just gonna wait. Listen to the beautiful music behind us that I do not own the rights to this music. No music playing. I'm getting hot because this was gonna be a hot one. Oh my goodness, I can't believe these videos are running this long. Oof. The Spirit, I feel this one. It's just like, this is my last near death that I can remember. It may be another one. I feel the powers. Look, if you're, go grab your people, go call people and tell them to watch the 3rd segment because this is going to be the powerful segment. I'm fanning myself. I feel it. I feel the Spirit coming in here. All right, it's at 33. I know that it usually turns off. Let me see. I just